It's 7 a.m. The alarm has already won twice. You wrap your hands around a warm mug and take that first slow sip. Almost immediately, the fog lifts, your eyes open wider, and the day suddenly feels manageable. Despite how it feels, that coffee contains zero fuel. It has no calories your brain can burn and delivers exactly zero physical energy to your body. If no energy is coming from the cup, we have to look elsewhere to find the source of this sudden burst of alertness. The answer lies in a tiny molecule that has been quietly running a clock inside your head all day, and a clever way that caffeine impersonates it. That morning boost is the result of a highly effective chemical deception played directly on the brain. This deception targets a molecule called adenosine, the brain's internal sleepiness meter. From the moment you wake up, your neurons burn through fuel, and adenosine builds up as a byproduct of that work. This rising tide creates sleep pressure. Adenosine settles onto receptors, signaling the brain to rest. Caffeine, an identically shaped imposter, slides into the same parking space and does nothing. It tapes over the warning light, blocking adenosine, while fatigue piles up in the background. This blockage doesn't just muffle tiredness. In a pea-sized region deep in the brain called the nucleus accumbens shell, it triggers a second, more active response. In this specific area, the receptors caffeine blocks sit right next to receptors for dopamine. When adenosine is blocked, it takes the chemical brakes off your dopamine system, leading to a gentle lift in signaling in the areas of the brain tied to attention and effort. By artificially nudging this dopamine signaling, caffeine makes a difficult task feel less daunting. It provides a temporary sense of drive, while the physical exhaustion remains hidden behind the occupied receptors. Since the mechanism relies on blocking a calming signal, the results vary wildly. The same cup that makes one person sharp can leave another person anxious and trembling. When consumed on an empty stomach or stacked on top of the body's natural morning cortisol spike, the unbraked alertness system runs too hot. This creates a wired but tired state, where stress chemistry is essentially turning up the volume on a fatigued brain. Individual timing also depends on a drug's half-life. Because of differences in genetics and liver enzymes, it can take anywhere from 2 to 10 hours for a human body to clear out just half of the caffeine it consumed. This chart shows how a slow metabolizer might be affected by an evening cup. If they drink coffee at 6 p.m., half of that dose is still circulating at midnight, physically occupying those neural receptors while they try to sleep. Even if this person falls asleep, the lingering caffeine degrades their sleep architecture. It shortens the restorative deep sleep stages, meaning they can sleep for 8 hours and still wake up feeling as if they only slept 5. These metabolic differences mean that one person's harmless afternoon habit can be the hidden cause of another person's chronic exhaustion. This brings us to a critical question. What happens to all of that undocked adenosine that was silently building up while caffeine was physically occupying those receptors? Eventually, the liver clears the caffeine away, and the doors swing open. That massive tidal wave of backed-up sleep signals floods the brain all at once. The fatigue doesn't return gently. It hits with the full weight of every hour you tried to suppress. The brain fights back against this daily override by physically building more adenosine receptors to try and reestablish a normal baseline. This creates tolerance. Because the brain added more locks, a single cup of coffee now covers a smaller percentage of the system, making the effects feel weaker over time. When that morning cup is skipped, all those extra receptors are left wide open to an overwhelming flood of adenosine. The resulting headaches and fatigue are the sound of the brain attempting to recalibrate a system it has spent weeks bending out of shape. Caffeine is an incredibly effective tool for defending your focus when exhaustion threatens to take it, but it is not an energy source. At its core, it is a biological loan taken against your own future alertness. Understanding this machinery allows you to choose when to take on that debt rather than letting the debt control you.